Hello.
Hey everybody, welcome back here. Let's see here. We hope you had a good day today. Today is day 10.
Of 100.
We are a tenth, well, we will be a tenth of the way through this 100 days of life. And yeah, so to yesterday we spoke on parasympathetic nervous system
Right.
and symptoms associated with the parasympathetic. And so we thought, it's a good segue to go into the other one, which is the other branch, the sympathetic nervous system and symptoms associated with that.
And we're again the subheading of all, or is it subheading or overhead? I don't know what you say. But this is all underneath the autonomic nervous system.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So when we're talking about the sympathetic, these symptoms are going to take a little longer to heal. This is my experience, and the experience
Then
that I talk
the
with.
parasympathetic symptoms.
Yes, then the parasympathetic symptoms, right? So like parasympathetics heal pretty quick, and then the sympathetic just kind of like slowly stair stepper the way up. Okay, so
If you have sympathetic issues, what might somebody experience?
right, so very common right here: sugar cravings or salt cravings, right? Because what's happening either one, right? When we drink, eat sugar or have salt, it it like vasoconstricts again, right? We talked about that with electrolytes and salt, and it gets that blood pressure to the brain. So it's like the body's innate way of saying, "Hey, help me, help me, help me! I need some blood up here." So or sit down, right? So that's like another way to do that, but naturally we'll will go to eat more salt or we'll eat more sugar, right? And it's like my dad growing up, it's like he just load his plate with salt, So definitely had some sympathetic stuff going on, which wouldn't be uncommon, right? Sympathetic is a very common symptoms for a lot of people to have. But with dysautonomia, it's probably just a little bit more severe, or a lot more severe. Okay.
Heart palpitations,
Yes.
anxiety.
So yeah, heart palpitations is a big one. So that's one of the things that I've had to work through, and so yeah, I mean I was having lots of heart palpitations, but gradually, right, they just tapered down to where I don't really have any anymore, which is just a glorious thing. Anxiety, again, anxiety is another one that just kind of takes a little bit of time for that sympathetic to kind of heal, and it just gets better. You just see it little by little get better. Your anxiety is better and better and better and better, which is awesome, because having panic attacks, multiple panic attacks a day is not the best ever. So
Night vision problems can also be signs of sympathetic issues, which I found really interesting because I don't quote have dysautonomia. I've never been diagnosed with that, but I've always had night vision issues. And of course, as a support person for Tyler, I underwent all the protocols that he's undergone. Just in our partnership, that's how we do it. We do what we do together. And I noticed that my night vision improved doing these protocols.
yeah, dramatically.
Dramatically.
Pretty cool.
Which is really interesting.
Another thing is like we talk about a lot is like people talk about like problems with stiff neck or shoulders, right, etc. That can be associated, and again, that's just that same thing with blood pressure up to
How so?
to like not blood pressure, like just getting blood up, right? Because it's neck and shoulders are like the furthest away from.
So
from
lack
gravity.
of blood flow
So
is
lack
causing
of blood
pain.
flow,
Is that what you're saying?
yes, and cause tightness and tenseness because we're just constantly tensing those muscles. Okay, let's see here. We have.
Did we already say headaches?
We didn't say headaches. The other one's headaches. So yeah, headaches, and then some bit of insomnia as well can be tied in with that. But I think mostly insomnia would be the parasympathetic.
So we've talked about, last night we talked about parasympathetic imbalance symptoms. Tonight we talked about sympathetic imbalance symptoms. And you've really alluded to a lot over and over, just to kind of just provide a summary of what we've been talking about here. You've alluded to a lot over and over that the sympathetic is slower in healing. So having an expectation of your recovery, it's helpful to know, okay, what are the things I'm going to see quickly, and then what are the things that, okay, time will allow that to recover. Because we do watch our, we don't want to just constantly be obsessed with our symptoms, but when you're in recovery, you want to observe how things are improving, because you want to also recognize where you might be hindering your recovery process. And so recognizing, oh no, I'm not having a regression here. It's not something that I've done or where I've overtaxed my nervous system. Rather, it's just these symptoms are ones that will improve with more time. But there are times when you need to observe, okay, wow, I'm having a flare. What have I exposed myself to? Where have I overtaxed my nervous system? Those kind of things. So that's why we're kind of allowing this differentiation here between the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, so that you can be more empowered in your recovery process to recognize, hey, this is a normal part of the journey, or hey, this might be indicating that I need to rebalance some things.
Right, exactly. It's very, very key. That's why we kind of separated the two out like that. And that was something we just had to go through. We didn't we just had to go through that and learn that, and then just studying and research. It's like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And that's really kind of, the last few days have been a short list of those symptoms.
Oh, yeah, very, very short.
But just to kind of plant some seeds there for you to be able to recognize that.
Yeah, we go into a lot more detail in our course on both of those topics as well. So then, while we've talked about the autonomics, we talked about parasympathetic and sympathetic. While we're on the same train, I think we should just mention real quick that enteric, which is kind of controls the guts, whatever. But what we've learned, and kind of through research and through some of the physicians we've spoken to, is that once you heal, you start healing your nervous, your parasympathetic, essentially it kind of overpowers the enteric, if you will. So you kind of just overpowers and just kind of goes along with the other two type systems there. So I think because maybe the vagus nerve kind of wanders down into the small intestine also as well, is what controls that rest and digest, that the enteric kind of it's almost like a underneath the sympathetic and parasympathetic in terms of hierarchy. So you fix the parasympathetic and sympathetic, the enteric just kind of comes along with it. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah.
All right.
I hope that helped, clarify some things. I know I constantly see people in support groups asking questions about different types of symptoms, and it's always good to know kind of where it's coming from as a first thing. And so now you know.
You do.
So we can move forward. So tomorrow we'll see you guys back here for day 11. Please share this video if you found it helpful with other people, and come join our Dysautonomia recovery support group on
Facebook.
On Facebook.
And let us know any questions or topics that we should be covering in the next 90 days. All right. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Okay.
Sleep well.
Bye, guys.